Good morning, cadets. In the last period, we have discussed about the magnets and the magnetic field lines. There is a question there in your textbook to discuss about the properties of magnetic field lines. I think I have covered it, but still, just a revision. The magnet, when you take compass and go on keeping it at different locations, you will get the compass needle getting deflected, oriented in different directions. As you go on tracing that direction in which the compass needle gets deflected, you will get a line. And this curved line or a line is called as magnetic field line. So magnetic field line is a line or a curve. The tangent drawn at that any point gives us direction of magnetic field. This is how we have defined what is a magnetic field line. Next, the magnetic field lines, they emerge from north and end at south pole. Every magnet has two poles, north pole as well as south pole. All the magnetic field lines, they emerge from north pole and merge at south pole. Okay, this is what we see outside. But inside the magnet, if you complete this, they are going to form the closed loops. Inside the magnet, it continues from south to north. It's very interesting. It continues from south to north. Thus, we get the field lines drawn inside the magnet like this. So, magnetic field lines form closed loops. Magnetic field lines form closed loops. Right. See, closed loops emerging from north and merging at south. This is outside the magnet. Outside the magnet. But what happens inside the magnet? Continuing from S to reach N. This is happening inside the magnet. Inside the magnet. And one more interesting thing, please note down. Anywhere, wherever you see the magnetic field lines, they are forming the closed loops. You see, those which are very close to the magnet, they are forming smaller loops. And these magnetic field lines are becoming a larger and larger loop, and the spacing between the magnetic field lines goes on increasing as you go away from the magnet. As you go away from the magnet, spacing between the field lines increases. As you come closer to the magnet, the spacing between the field lines decreases. Look at this. This is the north pole. You can see here there is maximum crowding of field lines. Field lines are very close. Similarly, there is maximum crowding at south pole also. More and more field lines are entering here, and more field lines are emerging here. So each magnet has two poles. Pole is the end of the magnet where there is a maximum strength of the magnetic field is observed. So what is a pole? Pole is the point near the end of the magnet where there is a maximum strength of the magnetic field is observed. So that is called as pole. You can look here. But at the middle, central part of the magnet, you will not find that much of crowding of field lines. Means if you move from L to S, near the central position, the magnetic field strength is decreasing outside. Magnetic field strength is decreasing outside. So from this we can state that wherever there is more crowding, more rushing of field lines, more number of field lines emerging from that particular point, there you will find maximum strength of the magnetic field. Wherever there is more spacing, wherever there is more spacing between the field lines, their magnetic field strength is decreasing. This is the observation. Then we have defined what is magnetic field line, what is the strength of a magnet, how is it expressed with the help of crowding of field lines. Next, very interesting thing and very important thing that is that no two magnetic field lines intersect at any point. This is very important. No two magnetic field lines, no two magnetic field lines intersect at any point. It means field lines never intersect at any given point. Means they are forming a perfect closed loop. If they do so at any point, it means what? If by chance, if there is intersection of field lines like this at a particular point, then according to the definition of magnetic field, the tangent drawn at this point, gives you two directions. Here also you can draw one tangent, here also you can draw another tangent. So magnetic field cannot have two directions. Magnetic field has a single direction at a given point. Therefore, no two magnetic field lines intersect at any point. If they do so, then at that point, we can draw two tangents. Which means, there are two magnetic field directions. There are two magnetic field values at that point, which is incorrect. At any given point, magnetic field has a fixed value and a fixed direction. So here we will be having two directions. One is according to this tangent, another one is this downward tangent, which cannot happen. So no two magnetic field lines intersect at any given point. Now one more interesting point. How do you define a pole? When you take any bar magnet, suspend it freely, then the bar magnet always points in the north-south direction. I will explain you why is it so. Okay. The end which is pointing towards north of the earth is called as north pole, and the end which is pointing towards the south pole of the earth is called as south pole. So north ending point is called north pole, south ending point is called as south pole. This is called as directive property of magnet, which I have told you already in the previous video, right? Now the question arises, why does a magnet align only along north-south direction? This question arises in your mind, right? Now I will explain you the reason. Why does a freely suspended bar magnet, for that matter any type of magnet, always orient along north-south direction? This is the question. It always shows the directive property. Now, to answer this, the main reason here is the earth. The entire earth behaves like a huge magnet. The earth behaves like a magnet. So if you draw the earth, you know, this is the axis of rotation about which the earth rotates, and here is the north pole and this is the south pole of the magnet. This is called geographic north and geographic south. Geographic north and geographic south. Geographic north and geographic south. Now, near this geographic north, there lies a magnetic south of Earth. Earth's magnetic south. EMS means Earth's magnetic south. And near this south, there lies Earth's magnetic north. Earth's magnetic north. So that if you draw this forms the magnetic meridian of the Earth. So it behaves like a huge bar magnet present inside the Earth. Don't go for searching this. Assume that there is a huge bar magnet present inside the Earth. Means the entire Earth behaves like a magnet, huge bar magnet, such that there is a magnetic south pole near the north pole and magnetic north pole near the geographic south pole. So if you suspend any magnet, for example, if you suspend any magnet on the surface of the Earth, then that magnet will have its north deflected towards south, because there exists a force of attraction between south and north. This is called unlike poles attract each other and like poles repel each other. This is a very important property of magnets. If you take two magnets, you know, north-north poles repel each other, north-south poles attract each other. This is called attractive and repulsive property of a magnet. So if you bring a magnet and if you just suspend this bar magnet, the north pole of this magnet, the north pole of this, if you suspend the magnet like this, the north pole of this magnet will be attracted towards the south pole of the Earth, and the south pole of this magnet will be attracted towards the north pole of the Earth. As a result, it will orient along this magnetic north-south direction. Therefore, any magnet, if you freely suspend it or pivot it at its center, with the center as its point of pivotation, then it will be always pointing north-south direction. It will be always pointing along the north-south direction. The reason is the Earth behaves like a huge bar magnet. So you can just write the Earth behaves like a huge magnet with its magnetic N pole, magnetic N pole, Earth's magnetic, this is Earth's magnetic north, Earth's magnetic south, with its magnetic N pole near the geographic north pole, and its magnetic south pole, magnetic south pole near the geographic magnetic south pole. See, magnetic north pole near the geographic south, and magnetic south pole near the geographic north pole, as I have shown you. This, if you draw the diagram, then you will never forget it. Magnetic south of the Earth is close to geographic north, and magnetic north of the Earth is close to geographic south. As a result, the north pole of freely suspended north pole of freely suspended magnet is attracted by south pole of earth and vice versa. Thus it always orients in almost north-south direction. So magnetic south pole is on top of Canada, Greenlands, right? On top of Canada. Iceland, I think Iceland or Green, it is also called as Greenland, on top of Canada, very close to Canada. And magnetic north pole is in the Antarctica. Here it is at Arctic, here it is at Antarctica. Okay. So because of which it will always orient along north-south direction. So this is a very important question. Now one more question was asked. Suppose you are inside a empty room and you are given a metal piece. The empty room is not having any object inside. There is nothing inside the empty room and it is a closed room. You cannot take this metal to test anywhere. Okay. Then how do you show that whether it is a magnet or ordinary metal? So immediately you will say that suppose I have a thread, I can suspend it and check. If I suspend it freely, it will orient along north direction. If it orients along north-south direction, then it is a magnet. Thread is also not given. You are not given even the thread. Then how do you test whether it is a magnet or just a metal? Then what you have to do? You have to break it. Break into two pieces. If it is broken into two pieces, then it is very interesting. At the point where it is broken, there you will find force of attraction. If it is a magnet, at the point where it is broken, there it will show force of attraction. At the point free ends, it will have force of repulsion. Means the north-north poles repel each other, north-south poles attract each other. If it is a magnet, then definitely you can show that it is a magnet. Otherwise, if it doesn't show any attractive force or repulsive force, then it is an ordinary metal. So it should be broken into two pieces, at least two pieces. If it is broken into two pieces, then north-south poles are formed where it is broken into two pieces. If you just take a magnet, if you break it in the center, then if it is a north here and south here, these broken pieces, it will also behave like a individual magnet. So this will be south here and this will form north, and here will form south and here will be north as it is earlier. So if you bring them close to each other, there is a force of attraction. So if you take a magnet and break it into two pieces, each piece will act like a separate magnet. If you go on breaking into any small amount of piece, each piece will behave like a magnet only. This is the very important property of a magnet. That's how when it is broken into two pieces, each piece behaves like a magnet and we can test it for attractive and repulsive force. Otherwise, if it is any ordinary metal, then it will not show any attractive property or repulsive property. Thus, we can show that whether it is an ordinary metal or a magnet. Okay. Now let us study magnetic field due to a current through a circular loop. Circular loop means a circular metallic loop. metallic circuit, metallic wire, circular metallic wire, right? This is circular metallic wire. Think that this circular metallic wire is pierced through a card sheet. This is circular metallic wire, a wire, a straight wire which is bent in the form of circular loop. The two free ends of this loop are connected to positive and negative terminal of the battery, like this. When you close the circuit, the current starts flowing. If I is the current starts flowing in this manner. Then, if you keep the magnetic compass will show deflection. So, if you trace those magnetic field lines, very interestingly, you are getting closed loops of this nature. So, these indicate magnetic field lines. Then, these magnetic field lines are circular, you can see here, and they are forming the closed loops. They are having a particular sense, particular direction. These are the magnetic field lines. Magnetic field lines. If you just keep the iron fields and go on tapping, immediately the iron fields will form closed loops. The iron fields will be attracted and they will be forming the closed loops. It's very interesting. So, circular magnetic field lines are formed. Then how to find out the direction of these magnetic field lines? Again we follow the right hand rule, the right hand screw rule or right hand thumb rule. So, show the direction of the current along the thumb, the direction of current along the thumb. Then the curling of the fingers, you see how the fingers wrap around the thumb, that gives you direction of magnetic field lines. Just like in case of current carrying conductor, we have seen if it is a straight conductor carrying current, there we have used right hand thumb rule. The right hand thumb rule gives us direction of the magnetic field lines. The magnetic field lines, you see, they will wrap up this thumb in this way. The way these four fingers wrap, the way these four fingers curl, that gives you direction of magnetic field lines. In the same way, here they will be forming the circular field lines. But when you come close to the center, you see the field lines are becoming longer and longer lines. They are not going to be almost circular. They are going to be almost straight. So this is what I am going to draw once again. Now let us study magnetic field due to a current passing through a circular loop. Right? When you pass the current through a circular loop, magnetic field line, they can be found out. They are found to be very circular, very close to the element. Now you see this extended diagram. When you look at this extended diagram, okay. Here you can see this is the way the current enters into the loop. This is the circular loop, right? The magnetic fields close to the element of the circular loop, they are circular. They are almost very close and they form circular closed magnetic field lines. These are the magnetic field lines. And here the current flows like this. This is the way current flows through the circular loop. The circular metallic wire, right? When it flows in this direction, when the current flows, we can find out the magnetic field lines. See, from the top they are entering inwards. They are entering inwards, perpendicular to the plane of the board. From the bottom, they are coming out of this. So again, we can make use of right hand grip rule or right hand thumb rule. So the current here is coming out like this. So the wrapping of the fingers, they are entering the plane of the board and they are coming out of the plane of the board. But as you move away from the top end, close to the center, the field lines are becoming larger and larger in size. They are becoming larger and larger in size. Exactly at the center, if you see, the field line is becoming almost a straight line. So it is entering outside. So here also at the bottom end, if you see, the current is entering like this. The current is entering like this, and here the current is coming out. And the current is entering like this. You see, the field lines. The field lines are emerging out. The field lines are emerging out according to the right hand thumb rule. You see the fingers, the field lines are emerging out. They form the circular closed loops, and that's how. When you look at this, the field lines very close to center, they are becoming larger and larger. They are part of the larger circular closed loops, and thus this is how the field lines can be drawn for a current carrying circular loop. These are the magnetic field lines. Magnetic field lines or current carrying circular loop. Again we make use of right hand thumb rule. Right hand thumb rule. Okay. We will continue in the next video about the magnetic field due to current passing through a solenoid. That's also very interesting. Thank you. Have a nice day.